A little quick update on the crypto market. You see Bitcoin still above 30K, goes up to close to 31, drops to 30.1. Now it's around 30.2. These are typical movements of the recovery year. I do believe the big resistance is 31.7, 38.8. If we break that convincingly, we should move fairly quickly to 34 to 35. And then we start making our way to 38 to 42. But this is the typical recovery year. And if you actually look at the chart, it's actually quite funny. You have a pump, you have sideways, you drop part of the pump, not everything, but part of it, you sideways, you pump again, sideways. So it's like you go up, stabilize, go down, stabilize, go up, more, stabilize, go up, go down, stabilize, and you move up and down, but you always keep moving slightly higher than lower. That's the key difference. We are in the Bitcoin dominance part of the cycle, of the recovery year, if you will. That should last until around mid-July, third week of July or so. Then we should start seeing Ethereum to overperform. And if we do see Bitcoin at 35, we should see Ethereum at 2.2, 2.3 thousand. And then the altcoins should follow. The ones targeted by the SEC, I think they will have subdued performances, so I have no position on them. Neither do I plan to have any position on them. I do have the AI Doge lottery ticket, which I'm down, I think, around 30% or so. Prices seem to have stabilized. Again, I don't even know exactly how much I'm down, because it's such a small percentage. I really don't even care. If it goes up, I have my targets, I have my strategy, I'll get out in certain levels. If it doesn't, fine. It's also not the end of the world. That's the key. But I do see a lot of people completely desperate in that Telegram group. And this is what happens when you sell your house to buy a lottery ticket. You get completely annihilated emotionally, and then you're more likely to make mistakes, particularly on new projects. If you keep watching the chart every minute, the most likely scenario is that you're gonna get annihilated. One of my other lottery tickets, Pick a Moon, it's on the phase 3 of the pre-sale, $3.5 million or so raised, about 2.5 million to go, and then it should launch. The game looks actually quite nice. The progress has been made, the team has been doxed, at least one of the main persons have been doxed. It's a game to earn crypto, deflationary, which is always a good touch. But again, lottery ticket, so I don't see much reason to spend my entire life wondering and thinking about it. I do go check the pre-sale stage like once every week. And I do plan over the next few weeks to, basically disclose my what I call my retirement bags, and the real ecosystem that I do see flourishing on this side. Most people won't believe it. Most people will probably insult me because the whole thing is down quite a bit. People fail to realize that the first project at launch in this ecosystem did a very similar path to what we are seeing right now. But people expect to enter a new completely well-developed and a new breakthrough ecosystem, and just to become a millionaire with $100 investment or sacrifice in under a day, or in 2 days to become a millionaire. That's not how it works. It can work for things like Pepe, but for every Pepe, there are a million things that get rug pulled, go to zero, get destroyed. But in any case, we are progressing normally in the cycle. I don't see any major differences. To be seen about the SEC ETF, about the SEC's approval of BlackRock ETF. After basically refusing and denying 55 other ETFs. I have a feeling, due to BlackRock closeness to the government, that this one is going to get a yes. And I do think that the draconian posture of Mr. Gensler has really irritated a lot of members of Congress and the Senate. So I do think he is going to throw a bone and give the Bitcoin ETF approval in order to try to calm the attitudes towards him. That's my feeling. We'll see if I'm right or not. BlackRock's approval rate is basically 575 yeses and 1 no. And this 1 no was years ago. So you have a good idea of how strong the probability of BlackRock being approved is. And typically in these markets nowadays, BlackRock comes, the other ones follow. So I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing Fidelity Bitcoin ETF, Morningstar Bitcoin ETF, so on and so forth, MSCI Bitcoin ETF. So BlackRock will lead the way, and most likely others will follow, not only in the US, but outside the US. We'll see if I'm right. I do hope the ETF comes before the Bitcoin halving. That way, I think late 2024, first half of 2025 can still be very good for the bull run. However, if the Bitcoin ETF comes down late 2024, I do have the feeling that it will probably mark the top of the cycle, and we will cut it a few months short. We'll see. It's not even approved yet, so how can I think about a launch? So, but in any case, be aware that this is very likely to happen, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.